What's up, y'all? Welcome to Furey Talks. I'm your host, Seth Furey. So today's guest happens to be a super talented individual. He's a stylist. He's worked with some of the biggest names in the industry, Chris Brown, Meg Thee Stallion, just to name a few. And he also happens to be a good friend of mine whom I've known for about 7 or 8 years. So with that being said, allow me to introduce you to my boy, DJ King. What's up, my brother?
How y'all doing out there?
Okay.
How y'all doing?
So after the mic check, you gonna go and start screaming at the top of your lungs?
How you doing out there? Hey, Instagram and YouTube and everybody watching. How y'all doing?
So, EJ and I have known each other for about 7 years. We've been good friends ever since then. And obviously he's a gay man, or he calls it eccentric. I'm a straight man. And that's been no issue whatsoever. But, you know, in some cases, a lot of people have a harder time accepting two people from two different worlds being friends. And I see nothing wrong with it at all.
It's harder for others to be friends because they live by titles. I think that once you get past the idea of, because I can look at it in my way, how can I be friends with straight people?
Yeah.
That's stupid, because who you choose to like and love don't stop you from being a person that feels and has emotions and I can connect with. It don't. Of
course.
You know, so it's weird that you're looked at as if you're this from another world. I had a conversation with my mother and I said, as kids, if you're playing with a girl and a boy, you're taught as a kid very early that touching girls is wrong. Mm-hmm. Touching girls' private parts is wrong. Anything like that is wrong. But what you're not taught is little boys wrong. Mm. So I told my mom, well, shit, I know I couldn't touch the girls like that, but shit, me and him got the same shit. Yeah. And so you become fascinated and you start to explore what that is. And so to me, I knew very early as a child that I didn't have the tingle feelings that I had for girls. Mm. And then that I naturally had for boys. So it was a curiosity, and then it was a thing that I liked, and I was like, oh, well, bitch, I don't like what you got, because you've always was taught that that's bad.
Yeah.
Because your parents, my dad used to think that putting colored shoelaces, or if your nails is too shiny, or that you're gay, or that it was gay. Mm-hmm. This is what manly was. This is what macho was. This is the idea of what a masculine person was. Yeah. I didn't identify with none of them, so I didn't like it.
So, in regards to this, what do you feel about parents that, like, such as the Dwayne Wade situation, in which he was letting his 12-year-old son identify with being a woman so early on?
That's amazing.
You think it's amazing? Do you feel like kids that age could ever change their mind from 12
to... So this is the thing.
Yeah.
This is the...
Because he's basically just, if people aren't aware of it, he was basically going to start taking medication to hormones to transform him fully, or more so, into a woman in which he couldn't go back. So if he ever changed his mind as an adult, he's not going to have no penis. It's going to be very minimal to where it could have been, right?
No.
That's not how it works?
So when you take hormones, what you're doing is you're softening, you're becoming a more feminine person.
Yes. So before...
Nonetheless, he's still got a penis and everything else.
He will, but it's not going to grow to his full potential, because he's now... Basically, what you're trying to do at a young age is you're stopping yourself from getting too many masculine features and then trying to go backwards, because you can't. So before they even start to develop... Okay.
So this is the thing. Mm-hmm. To my point from before, acceptance is major in gay communities. Yes. From kids to parents, from kids to other kids. So what Wade did was so honorable to me, because I never felt what it felt like to be abandoned or unloved or anything because I chose to be gay. Mine was more of a, I'm glad you came to terms with it type thing. Yeah. My little brother, my dad didn't see it that way. He put him out at 18. Yeah. He then, was on the streets, and then he ran into like the young gay community, which you fall into messed up stuff, Mm-hmm. So it's very important when you're in that space of figuring out who you are, wanting to. When I came out, I literally felt like, when people say the weight lifted off your shoulders, I literally felt easier. Yeah. It was hiding who you are from your parents and from friends and from siblings and from the world eats at you, and it eats at you because for long I wanted to be like, oh, he's fine. Yeah. I could never say it. Mm-hmm. I could never do things that now the reason why I'm in my mom so close, because I'm very open. Yeah. With everything and everybody. But I'm also respectful and not naive. So you need the right type of acceptance. So what Dwayne did for his daughter, because that's what she wants to be identified as, is a difference between saying I'm gay, and there's a difference between feeling like you're trapped in the wrong body. She feels like she's trapped in the wrong body, that she doesn't identify as the little boy. So when you make the decision of transitioning, it's very deep, because it's a spiritual thing, feeling that this was a mistake, that I was meant to be this person. That's something that you never grow out of.
I think in that case, you're right. I really do think it's case by case, because if you truly believe and you're aware that this is who you are and this is just, you're trapped in the wrong body, as you say, then I get it. But there are also people out there, because I had a lesbian friend of mine, Carter, on here not too long ago, and we spoke about bisexual girls, and she told me that there was a phase going on in which women were just trying it, and they were just experimenting, but then they realized that wasn't the life that they wanted, but they had the freedom to just simply go back. I think with him being so young, or her being so young now, it's permanent. There is no reverting back, and that's the part that's a little scary to some people, because they're like, how can you know so young when there are so many grown folks that have tried to switch over and went back?
What grown folks do that kids today are brave enough to do is call it out early. Your experimentation doesn't come from just being in the dome like, oh my God, I just want to try being with a woman. No, you've always had a thought there. You always pacified that thought because of the idea that it was bad. But if you grew up in a family knowing that your family was like, I don't care what you do, then you may grow up thinking differently. But because there's always a curiosity in the back of your mind, because you never was able to explore what that was younger, then as an adult, you're battling it, and you're fighting back and forth with who you are. What he did was show his son love. He didn't deny his son from saying, this is who I am. How can you tell me, because it don't fit your standards of who I am? My mother would love for me to have children. I do not want children. So you can't fault me for saying you're supposed to have. No, I don't. I do not personally, gay or straight, don't want children. So your idea onto your children, because that's what you deem is right and wrong, is it can be a hurtful thing.
I think that's really what it is. People just don't know, and they're speaking from their very narrow-minded perspective. That if you're allowing your son, now daughter, to do something to them, it's probably some kind of influence that you've put onto them to make them feel like it was okay. You know, just like when, you know, children grow up with like two dads. You know, a lot of times people can feel like if that wasn't the case and they had a stereotypical mom and dad, that maybe he wouldn't have chose to go in that direction. So they feel like the parents are pushing them in that direction sometimes, even though that may not be the case at all.
But you have to look at how people was raised, and so to understand the idea and how they think. So if you raised a girl with same-sex parents, or a child with same-sex parents, and make them understand what this is, and understand that everybody may not agree with it, but this is our new normal. So I commend D. Wade and Gabrielle for accepting who their child wants to be and making that child the best child for the world to have.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because when I first met you, our relationship was pretty much just work related. I came over, I did your massages, and I didn't quite know, I wasn't as comfortable with you when I first met you as I am now. In all the years I've known you, you've never done anything to make me feel uncomfortable. But I've been around other gay people that have, where I can't spend more than a few minutes with them because I'm like, come on, man, like stop trying to fulfill this fantasy of yours of turning out a straight dude. Like that's not what we want to feel. Well, like, break it down.
This is the thing. When I first met Seth, I thought Seth was dumb fine. Like Seth was like super fine, right? And then as gays, you determine how to approach, for myself, how to approach certain people, right? Because I never wanted to be the person that people felt they had to lock up that when they came around. So it was like, I didn't want the niggas to be like, when I walked in the room, they'd be like, oh shit, here go EJ motherfucking ass. He about to be. So early on, I was always mindful on how I came at people. And before I got into Hollywood, I had strictly homegirls. And straight friends.
Yeah.
I was the different friend or the gay friend, and then even then I didn't come out until I was 18. So still then it was me battling what it was. So I just was the EJ know he gay, but he our straight friend too type thing.
Yeah.
So all I know is how to be cool with straight guys because I never had gay friends.
That makes sense.
So all I had was homegirls and straight niggas, and then the straight guys were hood. So like I said, I've always been like protected in a sense. I remember when I first got in this business, like I remember DJ Quick had told my old boss Echo, like, man, if anybody ever got something to say about EJ, let me know. I can be friends with like Trey Songz or Chris or Nelly, or I've had rappers and people tell me like, you helped me change the idea of what a gay guy was. Mm-hmm. My thing is, it should never rub your manhood the wrong way that this person finds you attractive.
Yeah.
What would rub your manhood is if he tried you on some disrespect.
And that's,
you know what I'm saying?
That's the big key. Like, not everybody has that level of respect that you do.
So I always know how to be friends with guys.
Okay.
And I can let you know very early on, like, Tank is a good friend of mine. Mm-hmm. Tank, when I first met Tank, I used to think Tank was fine. Like, damn, that's Tank with his fine ass. One day we was in the dressing room and Tank farted. We was changing. Tank gonna go, nigga, I'm a man. And I just, from that point on, because it was bad, I was like, nigga.
Yeah.
And he instantly just became Tank, my brother. Like, no, nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, so I respect Tank.
Yeah.
I love Xena. I love their children in the form. So I can, once you're in that space of this is my brother, that's all you will ever be.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. So going back to Tank, this brings up a good topic. He, not too long ago, went on and he was talking about the idea of, if a man tries it with another guy, he's not gay. Right. And there was a huge controversy about that because most people believe that if a guy hooks up with another guy, he's just gay. That's it. Yeah. There is no bi, it's gay.
But that's also the
No, I get, and if women experiment with, a girl in the past and then they decide that they want to just go back to, dating men alone, most guys will generally just be like, okay, cool, you tried it, didn't work. But if it's the other way around, most women will not forgive the idea that their man... I know a lot of somewhat would be okay with it.
Some will be okay with it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying most of them won't be okay with it.
Not most.
Yeah,
I say most.
It's not most? And you guys can comment below and let me know what you think as well. If you found out that your man had a past of hooking up with other men, but then came back around and decided he wanted to date women,
and he came and
is that okay?
Dicked you down to that ground.
Is that okay?
Is you gonna care? The only time what you don't care about is the insecurity that it brings, knowing that both sexes attract you. My thing is, you can now if it's more than an experiment. I think what Tank was saying, if you tried it one time, that does not make you gay. Because
I think he said twice.
I don't care.
Nonetheless, yeah.
Well, she maybe did double back to make sure you didn't like the shit. Whatever it is, who you choose to be later on in life and what you choose to do with your life, don't depict what you did in your past.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we all was held accountable what we did in our past for what we tried or experiment or in our adulthood when we changed and we became a different person, then we all be doomed.
Yeah.
So who are y'all to say? Shit, when I was younger, man, I thought I liked a little dick.
Yeah.
Had a few niggas, realized y'all niggas ain't for me. Back on my ladies. Really want my ladies in my life.
I think what it is, it's what you're saying makes complete sense. It's completely fair, and that's the way it should be. However, the way I think when a woman envisions a man, she has a very masculine, certain macho way about them. And I think that knowing that they were with a man completely strips them of that.
But
even if they are
to some degree, like I said,
to a certain
Seb, I know people that are hard dudes that are gay, and you would never know it.
But and that's the thing. If you tried it and it didn't work out for you, and you decided to go on and date women, if you kept it to yourself and the woman never knew, then it'd be fine. But once you tell them that, I definitely think they're going to, if they're understanding and they're open-minded and they just accept that you wanted to try some stuff, you went through a journey and you're back. Kudos to that woman, and I applaud her for being that open-minded.
If he was a bottom, I don't think she's gonna forgive him. I think if he was the top, she will forgive him.
I don't think they're gonna.
Bottoms, I
don't think they'll care for the details.
No, you got to know the details. Because if I was when my man told me he was gay this past, off top, who was you? Was you on that bottom or was you on that top? So if you was getting bust down, can't never come around.
Okay.
But if you was on that top,
then that's just okay.
You know what I'm saying? So but like to my point is saying my friend is a very masculine guy, and he's not masculine because he's gay trying to pretend to be masculine. He's masculine because by nature he was in the army. He did things that taught him structure, and just he was a masculine person to give him. He was married to a man for 20 years. Yeah. So when he told people, it shocked you, but because who he was as a person, you knew he wasn't to play with. You know what I'm saying? So if a woman found out that same man today can come in her and sweep her off her feet and all of that, and she found out he had a man, it don't change who this man is in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
What you're saying logically makes sense. But if I've had this conversation and there was a woman on the show, I think there would be an opposing side to it.
I mean, shit.
Now, I'm not speaking for myself. I'm not judging anybody. I guess I'm trying to deliver an opposing side that other people might think. Like said, because not everyone's as open-minded as you because you've gone through this and you live this life. So you believe that everything should be as equal as it is. Okay, so EJ every now and then throws these big, elaborate Taco Tuesday parties, and it's generally filled with a bunch of gay people. And I myself, I love all of you guys individually, right? Mm-hmm. I don't always hang around and stick around at those parties just because I feel out of place. What's that?
Because you thick.
Oh my God. Because and that'll be another reason why I don't stick around. I just feel like the food is great. Everybody's cool. Even the entertainment is amazing. The shows you guys put on, but I just feel like as a straight guy, I just feel slightly out of place, like a little uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's offensive to you or not or anything.
No,
but
let me say something. Once you start feeling uncomfortable, by all means, go about your business.
Yeah.
It don't never offend me because I understand it. Chris came to my taco night. I remember I told Chris, I was like, Chris, I'm having a taco night. He was like, shit, all right, cool, we're going to pull up.
Yeah.
Chris came to my house, but Chris came to my house with his homeboys and his cousins. Them not knowing what my taco night was, it was alarming to them.
Yeah.
Chris is so secure in a place of who Chris is.
Yeah.
And me and Chris always used to talk about his best friend that was gay that passed. So he used to always tell me, like, man, you remind me of my friend, like, that was my nigga. He was cool, like da-da-da. Like, so you seen past the idea that he didn't like girls. Yeah. And it stopped him from being any less of a good person in your life. So because that's always been Chris's demeanor, me and Chris never had an issue on who I was. Chris being the fine nigga and the goofy and the fun person that people see. Mm-hmm. At my birthday party, Chris left. Chris disappeared.
Yeah.
So because I know I had gay friends, I instantly was like, yo, where Chris go?
Yeah. So
I finally find Chris, and Chris gonna go, nigga. I said, what happened? I said, Chris, why you leave? He was like, nigga, he said, a nigga sat next to me. He had these little shorts on, EJ. He's like, bitch, he was like, they were short, my nigga. And I was like, and he said he sat down on the couch and spilled the weed. So that had pissed him off.
Yeah.
Not that you got the little shorts on with your thighs out, your leg out. And we had a house party, Chris sitting by himself on the couch, you know what I'm saying? And Chris was rolling. And he was rolling the blunt, and the nigga came and knocked the weed over. So that pissed Chris off a lot. Yeah. Then the niggas proceeded to say something else to Chris that then overstepped. Because then you felt comfortable enough that you know that this is not this man demeanor. He can respect everybody in the house. You know what I'm saying? Turn up with us, talk shit. Like, Chris is the most openly, he accepts everybody. The moment you tried that you was going to come over, not just because he Chris Brown, but just because he a man not entertaining this party. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You went over there. So my thing is, you can't fault the reaction at that point. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because there's certain times and there's certain people that you know, like, why? Yeah. You doing it on your own stupidity. Yeah. You know? So I couldn't even defend the nigga no more because why would you do that?
He asked for it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So but that's the understanding of just people. Now, if you go out your way and just want to bash gays and be like faggot and all that kind of that's different. I mean, you're going out your way to prove that you're this macho person and this is what you don't stand for. That's something you're hiding.
Exactly, yeah.
But somebody that's of Chris's magnitude that will throw me a surprise birthday party and he know my friends or come to my taco night and would really just be in there laughing and busting up and just see it for the entertainment that it is, and it's nothing serious.
To make it clear, I love all y'all. Y'all are my peoples, and I don't want to seem like that homophobic dude that wants to leave the party for a reason. But let me just explain how it might feel from my point of view, because you have to understand that not everybody is as accepting of the fact that one straight man can be amongst a whole group of gay people and by the majority not somehow be somewhat affiliated with that. You see what I mean? So even when Chris's friends came, they were looking at him probably like, why would you bring us here of all places? Like, why not bring us with a bunch of girls? Chris already having experience with y'all is like, these are my peoples. So, you know, sometimes, so let's just say somebody's taking a big photograph and I'm in the background.
The gays. Let me tell you real quick. It wasn't that the niggas came to my house and it was a bunch of gay niggas. It wasn't that. Because you know my taco nights be mixed. Yeah. So I have women, we have, but and
generally when it's more mixed, I feel more comfortable.
Right.
But yeah, because if there's a big group photo, they're not going to be like, oh.
You never come to my house and it's just been all men.
Sometimes when the ratio is a little higher and there's Taco Tuesdays, sometimes I feel like, okay, so for instance, I went to a party one time and my boy put it on for his birthday, and he's a dancer, so generally most dancers in LA are gay, right? And that's fine because of the community that he works in. He's like, these are my people. I dance with them every day. Like, come to my party. So
it was just looking at them as people. Once again, placing labels on who you fuck has nothing to do with you being a fun person.
Absolutely,
in my life.
Yes.
But go ahead.
So I was there, partaking in one of my very good friends' birthday party, and it just so happened to be a lot of guys there. Now, I also had a few girls that I was talking to in that same exact party.
Right.
I didn't realize they were all coming to the same party, you know? So when I seen them, I kind of flipped out and I was just like, oh shoot. Fortunately, the music's loud, so all I gotta do is kind of keep them on separate parts or separate sides of the party. Maybe I can make it through this and not get caught. I bumped into this girl that I was talking to, and I really liked her at this point. I liked her the most of all of them. And she was like, what are you doing here, right? And I'm trying to explain to her, well, without telling her, you know, well, first off, I just started off, I said, it's my boy's birthday party, so, you know, I'm just here celebrating with him. But she was just like, yeah, but there's all gay people here. Like, why are you here? And why are you acting so funny?
She would have to mind her business.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know, I'm like, well, I'm not acting funny. I just, you know, and I kept running away from her, going to the other side of the party. What I was really doing was trying to equally entertain all these girls that I had in the party without getting caught up. She read it as, you're acting awkward and uncomfortable because you're gay. Exactly, and you're hiding something. So she actually cut me off because of that.
So you should have busted out and said, I was really trying to spare your feelings.
True, but
I was really cheating.
I didn't think that it was going to get to that point. I thought that if I could just somehow get through the night, when we talked the next day, it would be over. But when we talked, she was like, yo, I don't know what to say. I just had a weird feeling about it. I can't explain it. And she cut me off.
Yeah, she should. She got to let that go.
What do you mean she should?
You gotta let that go.
Well, I had no choice but to let it go. All right, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching Furey Talks. EJ, thank you again, my brother, for being a part. Tell everybody how they can find you.
Y'all can find me the way y'all been finding me. You know, Instagram, social media, OnlyFans is EJ King 21.
We got no OnlyFans.
Shit, I need one. No, but all my social handles is EJ King 21. That is all.
There we go. And if you could take anything from this today, just be respectful of everybody. Treat everybody with the same respect. You know what I mean?
Mind your business.
Be more open-minded, because you may find some really great friends and relationships if you approach life that way. So be sure to subscribe, comment, share this video so we can bring more of these to you every Tuesday. Thank you again. We'll see y'all next time. Later.